Hey, it's Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share the actual pricing for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 68-year-old female. Now, first thing I suggest is go directly to our website, and on just about every page of our website, we have these free quoters. And you just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that has the best insurance companies with the lowest pricing you may qualify for. So check that out. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you or run pricing for you. Now, the first thing a female age 68 should be looking at when considering $20,000 worth of insurance is that going to be enough coverage for her final expense needs? So typically that's going to be either a cremation or a burial. Let's take them in that order. So right now, the average cost of a cremation in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have some sort of ceremony, like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, in addition to the cremation, it's probably going to cost between $3,500 to $4,500. So what kind of coverage would you need? Well, for that first one, the cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend $5,000 to $7,000. Now, you're probably saying, well, Randy, I mean, the cremation's only $2,000. Why are we looking at $5,000? Well, the reason is our female's 68 years old. She probably wants to make it to 78, maybe even 88 years old. And we know that prices go up over time due to inflation. So we want to build a little extra coverage in there just to make sure that, we don't have to do this again in the future. So what if we're looking at 5,000, it just inflation proofs the plan well into the future. And then what it also does is, God forbid something happened a little bit sooner, you died sooner than you thought, there's some extra money in there to take care of some other miscellaneous final expenses, maybe medical bills or something like that. Now, if you're looking at that cremation and the ceremony, we would probably recommend somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000. Again, inflation proofing the plan, but also providing some coverage earlier, just in case there's some bills that just didn't get paid. You just went and died too soon, unfortunately, right? Now, if you're looking at a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they should help you get that taken care of. But, it's hard to imagine that they would say no. And if they did, what would you do? You'd walk down the road 2 blocks to one of the competitors and give them the check there. So just understand that 10,000 is kind of the minimum right now. And, you're 68 years old. It's not going to be inflation proof much at all. So most people would be looking, if they're going to do a burial, between 10, 15, and 20,000. And it kind of just depends on your budget. If your budget's a little tight, you can start at 10,000, and then we can look at helping you add more coverage later on if you need to do that. And then sometimes people will say, hey, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of insurance because I want to leave some money for my kids. We would typically say, hey, at 68 years old, you probably should have taken care of that before. And the reason we say that is most people, we help are on a fixed or limited income. And those bigger coverage amounts just simply start to get a little expensive for them. So what we would always recommend is just, if money's an issue, just get what you need to cover your final expenses. And then if you need to add any extra coverage for the kids later, we can certainly help you out with that. But, if money's really no object, then certainly we could help you with whatever coverage you want as well, too. We just try to meet people where they're at. Now, the one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. We never recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But yeah, first day coverage or benefits. What that means for first day coverage is if your plan were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for 10, 15, 20, 25,000, whatever it is. It's the best coverage out there. It's also the lowest pricing. So that's what you want. Now, some people would say, yeah, Randy, you're right. I do want first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health, to be honest, and I'm a little worried that I'm not going to qualify. To which we always say, Hey, that's our concern, not your concern, at least from an insurance standpoint. And what we mean by that is we work with very many different insurance companies, and they all have different underwriting requirements. They all have different health questions. So really about 95% of the time right now, we're able to get people first aid coverage or benefits. Really, the only time we would be unable to do that is if you just waited too long and you had some really significant health issues, like you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If something happened like that, we typically refer you out to a different insurance company. The other thing that seems to happen, man, it seems to happen every week, is we'll get somebody that will call in and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have money, and their body's at the funeral home and the funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check from the insurance company to pay the funeral home guy. We have to let these people know there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on a dead person. It does not work out that way. And it is so sad because, the person who died, they knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance at some point in the past and they just never did it. And then they just went and died. Now their family's going to have to pay for this out of their own pockets. Typically, that means they're going to have to put it on a credit card and be paying like 26% interest. And they'll probably have to be paying that for years and years and years. So don't do that. Don't be that person. Just what a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything else right in your life and kind of messed up this one thing, and that's what you'll be remembered for. So, yeah, don't be that person. Get this insurance now. If you need to start smaller, we can always help you start smaller and then add more coverage later. Now, the one thing we don't recommend is 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn, you've probably seen their $9.95 plan, right? If you didn't know this, that's a 2-year waiting period plan, and you don't want that. Not if you can qualify for first aid coverage. But Colonial Penn's not the only company out there that offers those. There's Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, there's just a host of other companies out there that the only thing they offer is 2-year waiting periods. And some of these companies have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that the only thing you're ever going to qualify for if you're over age 50 is a plan with a 2-year waiting period plan. To which we always say, do not fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first aid coverage all day long. Now, our 68-year-old female, she's probably just watched that Colonial Penn $9.95 commercial, and she's probably feeling pretty good. She's probably thinking, for $9.95, I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $15,000, baby. And then she goes and talks with a Colonial Penn agent or goes on their website like we've done for you here and sees that a 68-year-old female, 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $1,112. Now, that's not even enough for a cremation in pretty much most of the United States. It might be in a few places, but it doesn't really matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period and it's not going to pay out any death benefit if you die of a health or medical reason in the first 2 years. So you're starting out with a plan that is so substandard and it's got a 2-year waiting period and it's so expensive. Trust me, it's expensive. I'll show you in a moment here. But yeah, now some people would say that, these companies out there that offer these low teaser rates, kind of like this, that they really don't want to sell you the low teaser rate. What they really want to do is just get you to call in and get your information. And then they want to upsell you to more profitable policies for them. And, I would never say that Colonial Penn would do anything like that, but some people kind of do mention that. So I guess you may have to figure that out for yourself, just looking at how much coverage or how little coverage you actually get for $9.95. But we're going to try to get $20,000 here. The challenge is Colonial Penn only offers 15 units. And if we're looking at 1 unit is $1,112, I'm guessing 15 units is going to be somewhere around 16,000-ish. Come on, screen here. Here we go. Here we go, 15. Yep, 16,680. So with Colonial Penn for a 68-year-old female, you cannot even get $20,000 worth of insurance. Yikes. So, but you know, 16,000 is $150. Let's go find out what first aid coverage would cost for $20,000. Here we go. 20,000, female, age 68. Here we go. And again, this is 16,000 roughly for 150. And look, we're going to get, I'm going to go up and show you this again. We're going to get you 20,000 for $91. And this is first aid coverage. That's what the level means. First aid coverage. So you could either get $20,000 for $91 a month, or you could get $16,000 for $149 a month. Which would you prefer? Boy, not surprisingly, this one over here, because Colonial Penn is going to be roughly $60 more a month, and you're going to get $4,000 less coverage. So $6,000 or $60 more a month times 12 months is $720. If our 68-year-old female makes it another 10 years up to age 78, she will have overpaid with the Colonial Penn. She will have overpaid roughly $7,200. So you got to ask yourself, why would you ever overpay $7,200 on a plan with a 2-year waiting period? And you're going to overpay that $60 every month for the rest of your life. So it could add up to a lot more than that. So don't do that. Be a smart consumer. If you're not a smart consumer, let us help you be a smart consumer. Yeah, just reach out to us at Funeral Funds. So let's look at some other companies here. We're around $90 there. You know, Lumico, $98 roughly. You know, just say it's $10 more a month. That's $120 a year. That's around $1,200 after 10 years. It's probably more around $1,000 for Lumico. But why would you overspend $1,000 even? Makes no sense. Let's see. Let's find you'll be able to see all these different companies on our quote or two. Oh, here's one. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but man, look at that pricing on that. That's really high. It is first aid coverage, but yeah, that's really expensive. Reason it's expensive is Lincoln Heritage has got a plan where when you pass away, they will supposedly price check 2-3 different funeral companies just to see if what the lowest price is going to be. They may do a couple other things too, but bottom line, they don't do that for free. You got to pay a lot of money for it. So they're paying $135, actually $136 versus pretty much $91. That's about $45 more a month. And if you take $45 a month times 12, that's roughly around $520 a year more. And if our 68-year-old female lives to 78, she will have overpaid right around $5,400. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying a company right around $5,400 to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and do a couple other things when it might only take an hour or so to do? Most people would say $5,400 for 1 hour's work is pretty dang good pay for the insurance company. We would tend to agree, and therefore we recommend you keep that money in your own pocket and don't give that to an insurance company. So we would always recommend go with a lower price company. We can help you with these companies. And then what we do is we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website, and then you print it out, and then you just complete it. You write in there who gets what goes where, and what you want to happen after you're gone. And then you just keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, everything's in one place, and your family will know exactly what to do, and you'll have protected them both financially with the insurance policy and emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because they won't have to worry about a thing. They'll just open it up and start reading and then execute your wishes. And you will have provided for them to do everything that you wanted done with the insurance policy. And what a wonderful gift of love to leave behind, that your family would know that you not only protected them in life, but you also protected them one last time in death, exactly the time they would need you the most, even though you weren't here. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. And we can help you out with that. So go to funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quarter for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And we've got a special quarter where you can get the best price and the lowest rates. and it's really spectacular. You can also call us directly, 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you over the phone. And if you're just have an existing policy and you want us to price shop that to see if we can't get you lower pricing, or you want to get more coverage, just add some coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you just want some brand new coverage or just have some questions, we can help you out with that as well. But we really look forward to the day where we can help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with that at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.